So welcome back guys to another video, and today is yet another episode of Games I've Been Playing, episode 15. And what I really like about this segment on the channel, it gives me a chance to talk about a wide plethora of various games spreading from different genres, and most importantly, my overall goal on these videos is when you walk away, you have something new to play. So the first game I want to talk about is a game that honestly I want to make a whole video talking about. It is a collection that unfortunately was delayed from my order on Amazon. I finally got it a couple of days ago, and that is the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection. A collection of Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy on the Nintendo Switch. And listen, I'm not going to get too far into like the limited release. I think that's very, very foolish of Nintendo, and I'm really hoping by March 2021, the folks that want this collection have it, because it's not going to be available physical or digital, which is insane. But I really wanted to get this collection, and I have means of playing this collection through emulation. I can play Mario 64, I can play Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy on my modded Wii U. But the thing is I think a lot of people take perspective on emulation thinking that we just emulate to save money. A lot of it for me personally is convenience. I love the convenience of being able to play these games on the Switch. I can play them on the go, I can play them on my TV, and I have the 3 games right there. So let's dive into the games themselves actually. Mario 64, it's a lot of fun. Honestly, I can say that I've never beaten Mario 64, and I can say playing Mario 64 handheld on the Switch is 100 times more comfortable than playing on the N64 controller. I just don't like that controller, and that's one of the reasons why it's taken me so long to sit down and actually play Mario 64 and beat it. But I've been really enjoying it, and it's crazy to think that this game was made in '96 and it still holds up pretty well. The camera is a little wonky, but that's to be expected for essentially the first 3D platformer ever made. And of course, Mario Sunshine, I feel like either you love Mario Sunshine or you hate it. I'm in the crowd that I love Sunshine. It was one of my favorite games on the GameCube. It's so nostalgic. I play Mario Sunshine and I think of the summer of 2005. I think about when I first started working at Babbage's. I think about, just getting home and playing it, and it just being super hot outside, and it just fit the mood of Mario Sunshine. And I really did enjoy that game a whole lot, and to this day it still holds up. I still think it's got some of the best water effects I've seen in video games, and I like the new mechanic. I like the water jetpack. I know a lot of people are not big fans of it, but I feel like it added a little special something to the Mario 3D platformers. And of course, the last one I want to talk about is Super Mario Galaxy. I had Mario Galaxy on the Wii. I have it on the Wii U. I can play it on the Wii U. But this is a game that, honestly, I never really dived too far deep into. And a lot of the reasons is just because of what the game is like. It's a very trippy kind of game. You're jumping around and moving around on planets, and I'll be honest, I can only play it in short spurts because I start feeling I got vertigo or something. I start feeling kind of dizzy. So it's one of those games that coherently it's hard for me to play, but I do enjoy it. It's got an excellent soundtrack, and I have to say, this is the one game in the collection that a lot of people were wondering how well it was going to play on the Switch, because they said you can use the Pro Controller, you can use the Joy-Cons, you can use it in handheld, and this game was made for motion controls. Now in handheld, the move your star little thing around, you can use a touch screen. It's actually pretty helpful. It's not too crazy, but the Pro Controller, don't play it with the Pro Controller. You need to play it with the detached Joy-Cons, almost like you're playing a modern Nintendo Wii, because the Joy-Cons, they just work so much better with moving your right hand and getting the star cursor around. The Pro Controller, I got my Pro Controller right here. It's weird because it uses motion controls with the actual controller, and I feel like I feel like it's easier to move like this than to move like this. So I would advise not to play it with the Pro Controller. Play it with the detached Joy-Cons and have lots and lots of fun. It's a great collection. What can I say? Now, you know what's really cool is, I've been playing retro games since the beginning. I've been playing video games for so long, but there's still games that came out back in the day that I'm still finding, and I love that. I was browsing through the Raspberry Pi, and I found this game called Power Instinct on the Super Nintendo, and I was like, I'll give this a try, and I can't believe I slept on this game for so long. It's a little 2D fighter, Street Fighter clone by the folks at Atlas, and yes, it is a Street Fighter clone, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. That's one of the things that I love the most about this game. It's got that wacky sense of humor, this really whimsical, wacky soundtrack. I mean, I was sitting there playing as this decrepit old lady, and she even had a move where it was almost like Blanca, where she jumps off and starts like sucking the blood from your head, but she's like kissing you. She's like this perverted old lady, and she can transform into this like middle-aged woman. It's a very weird 2D fighter, but I cannot stress enough how fun it is. I was shooting capturing footage for it, and I was just like, man, this is a really good game. And it seemed like it came out on a lot of platforms. I just started playing it on the Super Nintendo. I saw it was on the Neo Geo and Sega Saturn arcade. I'll definitely check those out as well. But Super Nintendo port was a lot of fun. There was a little bit of slowdown here and there. I don't know if it was the emulator or it was the game itself, because the game does look like it's pushing a lot of sprite art for a 16-bit processor. So that might be the case there, but man, it is such a fun game. And speaking of fun games, I definitely had to buy this game on the Switch. I don't talk about this genre enough, but I'm a huge fan of arcade racers. I love arcade racers. So Hotshot Racing was definitely on my radar for quite some time. It came out back in August, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get it. I went ahead and got it, and it's such a tribute to 90s era arcade games. It made me think of Virtual Racing, made me think of Daytona USA, made me think of Ridge Racer. It had this aura to it that just took me back to the 90s, and I absolutely love it. And it's got a lot of modes to it. It's got the Grand Prix mode, it's got, a one-player race mode, it's got so much to it, even like a Cops and Robbers mode. And the soundtrack itself was a big selling point for me that made me want to check this game out, because my good friend Jason Henie did the music for Hotshot Racing, and he's been working on it for I believe 4 years now. He's been working on it for quite some time. And if you're unfamiliar with Jason Henie, he was formerly known as the EMU Review, now is Henie House on YouTube, and he's a music producer, he's a gamer, he's a podcaster. He is a huge inspiration for XS Gaming Podcasts. Him and the All Gen Gamers crew back in the day, those folks made me want to get in front of the camera and talk about video games, and made me want to start recording a podcast with my good friend James Gruesome. So I had to support Jason Henie, and what better way than to play a 90s era racing game and go back in time. It was a lot of fun. Now, sometimes I just love to go through the Nintendo eShop on the Switch and see what's coming out, see what's, what deals are going on, what's the recent releases, and I saw this game called Super Punch Patrol, and I was like, wow, this looks like a really cool beat-em up. And, let's face it, the beat-em up genre at one point was completely stagnant. Now we have so many beat-em ups. I mean, we've gotten the return of Battletoads and Streets of Rage, and River City Girls is a lot of fun, and, I'm waiting for another Double Dragon at this point, but this game right here is a huge tribute to all those games I just mentioned, and it's made by one of my favorite developers, the same folks that made us games like Gunman Clive, a very unique run and gun western cowboy style shooter that I enjoyed on the 3DS, and I ended up buying the collection on the Switch. And this is a really good game. Now, is it breaking new grounds? Absolutely not. It's not trying to reinvent the beat 'em up genre, but it's making the beat 'em up genre fun. It's a very, very fun game. And of course, you got your three characters. You got your, regular guy who's a cop. You have the girl who's very athletic and does crazy kicks. You have the big brooding tank, which, ironically, the tank's pretty fast in this game. I will say that. A lot of tanks in beat-em-ups are very slow, but they're very powerful. But he's got a little bit of speed behind him. And, I was laughing at some of the boss battles. I mean, it was a part where I was going through a sewer and I had to battle scuba diving sharkmen. That was freaking hilarious. And, of course, the famous fighting on skateboards and stuff like that. If you're a big fan of beat-em-ups, Super Punch Patrol is definitely something you need to check out. And I believe right now it's on sale on the Nintendo Switch for just $4.99. $5. That's cheaper than the spicy nuggets at McDonald's right now. So the last game I want to talk about is a game I've been slowly chipping away for quite some time, and I finally beat the demo. And let me get into this. I'm talking about Dragon Quest XI. Now, Dragon Quest XI I bought back in March, but I kept telling myself I need to beat the demo first because all the progress you make in the demo can be carried over to the retail game. So I was like, I need to finish the demo, which is like 10 hours long. I kept getting distracted, but I sat down and finished the demo, and now I'm into the actual game itself, and I'm having such a blast. And I feel like this is the time of the year to play JRPGs. It's starting to get a little colder outside. I'm drinking more coffee. I'm drinking more tea. Nothing is more therapeutic than getting home from work, taking a hot shower, sitting on the couch, and pulling out my Switch and playing Dragon Quest XI. It's just something about it. It's very wholesome, and that's something I love about the Dragon Quest series is no matter what Dragon Quest game you play, you know it's going to be a wholesome adventure, and Dragon Quest XI is definitely that. It's so much fun. What I love about it is it has your standard tropes, oh, you're a chosen one, oh, you gotta defeat this dark lord, blah, 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 something we've seen so many times, but it's the fact that the world has changed and they view you as the bad guy. Even though you're the chosen one, you're a fugitive. I thought that was a nice little twist. I've been enjoying the battle system, the music, of course, the art from Akira Toriyama. Cannot stress enough how much I love that. This is a game that I'm definitely going to enjoy, and it's going to be like my winter game. This is going to be the game that I play during the winter seasons and really, really have a blast.
Here you go. Go on. Crikey.
So anyway, guys, those are some games I've been playing recently, but what have you been playing? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, but also hit that bell for notifications so you're notified on all future content that comes out on this channel. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.